Recall from our Servoy concepts that Servoy is both a development environment and an application server. And when Servoy Developer is started, a localhost instance of the app server is also started. And therefore you can directly test and debug your applications from within the development environment. And there are two client instances available at all times, the Smart Client and the Web Client. To launch the active solution in the Debug Smart Client, select the Actions menu and select Start Smart Client, or simply click the button here to launch the Smart Client. You can see that the client is launched and there's a default record navigator available for you to scroll through the record. However, most developers discard the navigator in favor of a custom design. It's worth pointing out that you get a lot of additional functionality right from the get-go. To start things off, Servoy is managing all of the SQL to select and update customer records. So if I make an edit here, Servoy is going to handle that commit to the database. Moreover, there's a lot of record management functionality built right into the client. For example, in the select menu, you can see that I can create records, delete records, search for data, and navigate to other forms, all the kind of things you'd expect in an application. However, most developers will implement more nuanced customizations, maybe disregarding the toolbar and menu bar entirely or customizing it as they see fit. I'm going to switch back to Servoy Developer and launch our application in the web client, and it's done the same way. I can go to the Actions menu and select Start Web Client, or I can click the button here to launch it in the web client. Servoy's web client offers the same functionality as the Smart Client, but in a browser. A couple of things are worth pointing out. You'll notice that as I scroll through the records, the URL for the page is never reloaded. This is because Servoy uses AJAX technology to communicate with the application server, and this has two clear advantages. First, all of your business logic is executed server-side, which is the most secure because there isn't any opportunity for malicious injection attacks. And second, the performance of the client is fast and the footprint is very lightweight. The browser is only concerned with rendering itself using CSS and HTML and is not responsible for any business logic. But one of the best features of Servoy's application server is a technology called data broadcasted. And this is the notion that all clients, both smart and web, receive real-time updates of data changes so the users are never looking at stale data. But really the best way to describe this is just to show it to you. I'm going to hover the Smart Client over top of the browser here, and I'll click in the record navigator here and jump to record 28 so that both the Smart Client and the web client are looking at the same record. Now if I make a change to the city, say adding XYZ to it, and I click out, which commits it to the database, you can see that the data was broadcast into the web client real time. So this is data broadcasting, and it works throughout your application, and it works amongst all of the clients that are connected to the application server. One last thing worth pointing out is that as you develop your application in Servoy Developer, it broadcasts the changes that you make directly into the debug clients. So you can just leave both the Smart Client and the web client open, and you can see the changes you make broadcast into them, and there's no need to restart. I'll switch back to Servoy Developer to show you an example. Let's remove the country field from our customers form, and now as I save this change and switch back to the debug clients, you can see that the country field has been removed from both the clients. I didn't restart the clients, I just left them open, and I could see that change right away. This is incredibly productive, the fact that you can test all of your business logic changes and design changes directly as soon as you make them in the debug clients.